Today is February 23rd, 2019, and we're going to go over the state of the crypto market. Okay, first we're going to look at Bitcoin, and as the last video I made last week, all the predictions I made hit right on the dot. If you made the trades I told you to, you would have made a quick flip. Alright, so as of right now, we're going to start by looking at the RSI. It's on a steady stream upwards. It's a bullish pattern, right? So the RSI is on the bottom here, and as you could see, right around here it was overbought. And when it's overbought, we must have a transition downwards where it hit the trend line right here. Then it bounced back up, back into overbought territory, streamlined down, hit the bullish trend line, the bullish strength RSI trend line. It's a good sign. So right now, it's about to be overbought again, and if it stays on this trend line, which I believe it will, it's a very good sign. And this is for a Bitcoin chart. And as you can see right here, we're seeing the daily volume is increasing. Very, very good. All these bumps up in price, we see a heavy increase in buyer volume. Okay, let's clear this. Okay, so back to the volume, we have this big candle right here. That's a lot of buying power. It's breaching the daily average volume, the DAV. And now let's look at the Bollinger Bands. When the Bollinger Bands contract, like it did here, and here, and here, that means an explosive move is coming. As you can see, it did. All the signs were that it was bullish. And when the Bollinger Bands expand, that means the trend will be stable in whichever way it is going. And you can see it just contracted. We have explosive move upwards. And then you can see it's going to steadily expand, and we're going to see it's going to remain bullish. So that's my analysis for the Bollinger Bands. Then my favorite is the estimated moving averages, which is the EMAs, which is the red, orange, yellow, and green lines. And you can see when we're on this, let's zoom out for a sec, and we're on this bearish pattern here, right? We had the 55-day moving average was above the 8-day moving average, which is the red over the green, right? So that was a bullish market right there. And then over here converged the green, the 8-day moving average surpassed the 55-day moving average, and that always means a reversal and trend. So we went from a bearish trend to back to a bullish trend. All right, so this would have been a perfect time to buy and to hold on, right? You don't want to cash out just yet unless you want to do the short trades, the small quick trades like sell here, buy here, sell here. But I would just, if you listen to me and bought here in the beginning, like I said, you should be holding on right now. So as you could see, let's do a trend line real quick. We're on a bullish pattern up, and we're going to go over some floors and ceilings real quick. Alright, so let's find some supports. Okay. Alright, so we got our supports and resistances. So, as you can see with all these indicators, we're going to stay on a steady, I believe that all the signs are very bullish right now. We're going to continue on this trend upwards for Bitcoin as well as the rest of the cryptos. We're going to go over those as well. But as of right now, it's going into oversold territory again. Again, on RSI, the strength isn't going down on the tops, which is a good sign. That's also bullish. Okay. When you see the tops of the overbought start to go lower, that means it's most likely going to reverse and trend change as well. But as for right now, we're probably going to see this, the price probably going to stay somewhere. It's probably going to come back down to about 4 grand. Maybe it might go down to about 3,800 before it comes up, tries to break 42, probably come back down to 4,000. And the next stop up, we're probably going to be looking around 45 to 4,600 before we see before it comes to test the around 4,600 level. It's going to come back down to about 4 grand, and I believe the next stop after that, if the trends stay the way they are, we're probably going to be hit around 5,600. Okay, so if you bought last week, it was a good time to buy when the Bitcoin was about 3,200, 3,300. You already made a nice profit in a week. I would hang on there, and if you want to make a quick sell, you probably want to sell probably around 4,500 if it's about to have another dip down, which of course it will, before buying it back up if you want to make a few $100 real quick. But as of right now, you should just hang on, and I'll keep you updated on the rest. Now we're going to look at Ethereum. Okay, again on RSI, very bullish. That's very good. All the lowest points are of an upward position, as well as the highest highs on RSI. It's not decreasing on the highest highs. That's bullish. We're on a very bullish pattern. Of course, again, you got the overboughts here where we see it stopped the momentum of price. But either way, we also have lots of volume coming in, lots of we have a lot of interest, a lot of buying power breaking the daily average volume. And all the EMAs, it's still in a bullish trend. The green is farther away from the red. That means it's safe that the trend will stay the same for now. The Bollinger Band's contracted. I believe the next stop we're hitting a ceiling right here, a resistance. The next stop we have for Ethereum will be around the 180 mark before it hits the next resistance. It's going to come down to test the previous support. Okay, and then after the next stop, if we remain bullish like we are, the next stop for Ethereum will probably be around 220. Okay, now let's take a look at Litecoin. Again, just as the rest, we have bullish, very bullish trend here on the RSI. As for Litecoin, one thing I do see right now, the highest highs on Litecoin is decreasing. Okay, but either way, we have more volume coming in. That's good. The volume for Litecoin is not as good as Bitcoin and Ethereum. That's for sure. And the strength wise, it's not as strong as Bitcoin and Ethereum either. Okay, it's more of a gradual pace upwards, but overall it's looking very bullish. As you can see, the EMAs converged here, right? So that was a perfect time to buy. As for right now, you should just hang on. If you're not a good trader, you should just hang on for the next exit and to take some profits, which is not yet. But Litecoin isn't as bullish as Bitcoin and Ethereum, but we are testing some resistance lines right here. And the next stop for Litecoin, if it stays bullish, you're probably looking about 65. And then after that, you're going to be looking about, next stop for that will probably be around 90 to 100. Okay, if we remain bullish, again, Litecoin isn't as bullish as Bitcoin and Ethereum right now, But if you're gonna try to get in on Litecoin, you should buy it. It's probably gonna dip down to, I say, about $42 to $45. You could still get in. Another thing, let me go back to Bitcoin real quick. Let me clear this. When we have these rallies up, like right here, usually this happens 3 to 5 times before it comes a correction, and it'll correct about 70 to 80% of whatever its climb up was. So I say we have another 2, maybe 2, 3 rises up before it's going to come back and retrace itself to the previous price it was, about 70 to 80% before it continues its trek upwards. And that goes the same for Ethereum. And what I mean by that is this pattern you usually see 3 to 5 times. Right now we're at 1, 2, we're going up to a third, then it's going to go up to its fourth, and then the fifth, then it's going to retrace 70 to 80%, get back on a trend line, and then it's going to eventually hit that trend line, go after it retraces about another 2, 3 pumps up before it continues its trek upwards. Okay, so we're going to see a good selling point around another 2 to 3 points upwards. And that's my quick analysis for Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Litecoin.